So for just the ease of transition onto your yoga mat, if you want to get everything sort of roughly set up and ready to go, you'll put your pillows in a stack, let's say towards the front end of your mat. You'll have a blanket roll, but we're not even going to really get into the blanket roll towards the end at Shavasana. However, there's places like when we're in a zigzag seat or a deer seat, some of our hips prefer to be on a seated, like slightly elevated position. So your blanket might be that secondary tool. And I would say make sure there's just a little side space cleared so that you have room to move, because we're going to do a little bit of shoulder work. And then you want your yoga block nearby and you want your yoga strap nearby. So all the good stuff: 2 bed pillows, a strap, a block, and a blanket. And now you're going to find a nice standing position, just a little soft neutralness into your body. Soft knees, soft bum, soft arms, gaze forward. Take a nice big breath. I'm flipping myself sideways just so you'll be able to see, but we're going to just go a little bit of medial lateral rotation with your arms. So in this nice neutral standing position, just get a little bit of rotation into your shoulders, into your palms, flip forward, palms flip in. And then you're going to shoot for palms facing forward, but we're going to play a little bit with the orientation of our arms. So now you're going to go palms facing forward, and you're going to start with a light little pendulum swing of the arms. And you're just going to try to keep them a little bit heavy out of the shoulder head so that they can just kind of gently swing. And then just kind of tune in and notice how it feels. And then I'm going to take us into like a tipped forward, slightly forward bend position. But if you get there and you're like, that doesn't feel great to my feet or to my ankles or whatever, you're going to come back up here. This might feel like the most neutral, safe place to be. Now, if it feels good, you're going to tip forward just a touch and then start to find that swing. And then you're going to play around with palms forward, palms in, palms back. Palms forward, palms in, palms back. So find a little bit of just a little bit of shoulder turn as you get that little pendulum swing going on. All right, and then if this is feeling good, you're going to come a little bit further forward, and now you're going to get a little bit of a bigger swing going with the arms. So you're going to feel it shift your weight just a little bit. Just make sure you feel safe and comfortable as you go. And then if you can, take it into a little crisscross. And as you crisscross, let them switch which guy goes on top. And then as you're doing this little bit of work here, notice, are you holding any tension in your big toe, or are you holding any tension in your jaw? Where can you soften just a little bit? All right, one more in and out swing, and then go back to palms facing forward, big pendulum swing as much as you can. Nice. Okay, now we're going to come down onto the ground. We're going to go laying on our back, and we're going to kip our legs up and over our stack of pillows so that our legs are in a lightly elevated position. So take your time as you come on down. The beauty of our Soft Saturday practice is that there's no right or wrong way how you get there. It's just about like what makes good sense to you in your space. So you can take your time that you need. You come on down onto your back, and then you give everything a second there. You say, okay, do I like my pillows this way? Do I want to switch them so they're long ways? Do I feel like I can reduce a little bit of effort down in that lower half of my body? And then you do all the other little check-ins. How's your costume? How's your hair? Do you want to fix anything up? Get yourself nicely organized so everything feels good. And then you're going to tune into the back of your body. Think back shoulder blades, back of the rib cage, soft curve of your low back, the curve of your butt. How does everything feel? We're going to bring our arms into a 90-degree bend, and our elbows are going to be lightly tucked in at our sides. So you want to feel like your elbows can connect to the ground, your shoulder blades can snuggle in, and then you've got a nice long back of your neck, and your eyes are on the horizon gazing up towards the ceiling. And then once you've got your way there, we're going to take some shoulder rotation. So you're going to bring your arms out, but your elbows are going to stay connected to the ground. And then you're going to bring your arms back in so fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then as you go along here, you're going to start nice and slow. You're not going to necessarily look for full range of motion unless you just have like really easy open and close of those shoulder heads. And then as you do this little work, you're going to feel into the shoulder blades working behind you, and it might create just a little bit of a slight lift or elevation of your chest as you rotate to that out position, and then it might soften back down as you come back in. So you're just going to take the time to notice what movement shows up as you rotate the shoulders. Arms go out and arms come back in, and go nice and slow so that it feels soothing. You're looking for a little bit of range of motion, but you're not trying to force yourself to go anywhere that your shoulders won't naturally go. All right, go for one more in and out, and then arms are going to come low into anatomical position and then into some nice big sweeping snow angel arms. So, but we're going to follow the breath for this one. As you inhale, arms are going to go up above your head as far as they go comfortably. And then as you exhale, arms are going to come down nice and slow. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms go down. And I like to keep I just kind of take the beds of my nails and I just sort of touch the floor with my nails of my fingers. And I just let so they have sort of a slippiness in comparison to the skin tissue. So going up and down, just either your hands are in a hover, they touch the ground, or you just let them glide. So go around where it feels good. Take about 2 more cycles of breath here. And then once you've done just enough, come back down to that anatomical position about 45 degrees away from the side of the body, palms facing up, snuggle your shoulder blades in, get that nice long back of your neck, and then soft belly, soft legs, soft fingers, soft palms. Take a nice big low deep rib cage filling breath. One more cycle of breath. And then to tell you where we're heading next, we're going to come up. We'll keep our pillows in a stack. We're going to go into a soft, wide leg stretch, and then we're going to fold towards the stack of pillows. So I say, let's come up in a nice organized way. Hold on to your thighs, hold on to the ground, lift yourself up in a way that makes good sense, and then hop your legs off of your stack of pillows, adjust your butt, adjust your legs so it feels good, and then a really nice soft fold. So you're just going to gently, softly fold into the stack of pillows. And we're going for like light fold so it feels just gentle enough, and you're just held up by your pillows. And then take a big breath as if you're trying to just feel into that space that was just working against the ground, your shoulder blades and your upper back body. Take a nice big breath as if you're just trying to fill it up. Take one more breath. All right, now we're going to stay in this wide leg seat, but you can adjust it so it feels just nice enough to you. You're going to come up to a nice tall spine. You're going to take your right arm and bring it across your chest. So you want that nice pull, so you feel there's a little bit of work happening into that shoulder head. And then once you feel like there's a little bit of work happening there, take it into a soft, gentle nod of your head up and down. How much range of motion you go for here is just going to be what feels nice, what feels available. Take your time as you go. Lovely. One more up and down. And then we're going to switch. So bring your head to a neutral position, release that arm, give it that little shoop and little wiggle. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So we bring the arm across, get the handhold that works good. Place where it's stretch your head. And then if it feels good here, add the head up and far your head nods up and down. Just go for a safe range of motion that feels comfortable. Heading next, it's gonna be a single stack pillow, and I'm gonna arrange my pillows so that it's easy and convenient so I stay facing out. Slowly take a second, give it that little shoop, give it that little wiggle. And then once you've shooped it out just enough, bring your legs in. You're gonna take one pillow and it's going to go, so we're gonna go into a side lying position, but we want the pillow to come kind of a little bit underneath the hip and all the way so that it's up underneath the shoulders. And now you're gonna want your yoga block because it's going to be your head pillow. So you're gonna get into a side lying position, adjust your pillow, your yoga block. I call it blockhead. That's what I write on my notes, blockhead. So put your block underneath your head, and then the low arm is going to do a little bit of work. So you're going to go with a flat palm, fingertips up towards the ceiling, and you're going to start to take that arm into some rotations. So you're going to go palm facing up, hand reaches for the ground, palm facing down, hand reaches for the ground. Do not worry if it doesn't touch the ground. Everybody's shoulder rotation might be a little bit different. Everybody's pillow stack might be a little bit different. So you're just going to go for what feels like a non-forced movement pattern. And then as you go along here, you're just going to take the time to notice, are you holding any tension in your jaw? Can you soften your jaw? Right, now you're going to go for the one that feels more interesting, whether it's up high or the down low position. Go for the one that feels interesting and hang there for a second and just take a nice big breath. Lovely. And then release it to just a neutral, let the arm come out nice and wide, twinkle your fingers, maybe twinkle the fingers on the other side as well. Get that other arm prepped and ready to go mentally so it knows that we're about to flip ourselves over to the other side. And then as we flip ourselves over to the other side, take your time as you go. So sometimes especially when we're working with the nervous system, we don't want to rush to the next place. I'm flipping myself around, so I'm facing out to you. You flip yourself around in a way that makes good sense. Take your blockhead along with you though, and then get into your side lying position, adjust everything along the way so it feels comfortable. And I'm just kind of letting my legs stack on my other pillow because that feels nice. So get yourself arranged so all of this feels good, roughly about the same in that side lying position as the other side. And then once you've got that figured out, flat palm, finger pointing up towards the ceiling, and then we take that low arm into that shoulder rotation. And then you're going to notice, because one side definitely might feel different than the other, and it definitely might have a slightly different range of motion. Like my left arm definitely has a more limited range of motion than my right. Go for a few more rotations and then find that interesting spot. Maybe it's the high point on this side, maybe it's the low point. Find that interesting position and then stay there for a second and take a nice big breath. Excellent. And then slow release, just let that arm fall out into a nice neutral position. Pause for a moment, take a breath. Nice. All right. And now when you're ready, we're going to come up, we're going to readjust our stack of pillows, and we're going to move it into our open book twist. And for our open book twist, it's just going to be a little bit different, something for the shoulders. So for open book twist, me personally, I like the double stack of pillows because then I can kip my leg up onto it. And somebody's head position, you might like the yoga block underneath your head. I don't particularly like it just because my head always wants to kind of fall off when I get into the twisted position. So come on to one side, take your time, get everything cushioned that you want, which could include cushioning your ankles, your foot, your shoulder, your head. And then once you've got a position that feels pretty good, the top arm, when we go into open book, a lot of times we go palm to palm and then we open up into a twist. Now we're going to take that top end and we're going to try to reach it past your low arm fingers. You're going to do a little bit of a stretch and reach. And then exhale, you'll open up into your twisting position. Inhale, you come in and you reach past your hand, get a little stretch and reach. And then exhale, open up into your twist. Inhale, come in, get that little stretch and reach. Exhale, open up. Inhale, come in, get that stretch and reach. Exhale, open up, and then stay there. Adjust your shoulders so that they can open up into that nice position, and then soften into your breath. Go for 3 more cycles of breath if you can. And then on your next inhalation, come back in and unwind. Reach past that hand, get that last little reach, and then come out of your twist. And then we're going to flip it around to the other side. And I'm going to come up away from my mat to let Anne back into the class because I think she had probably a little battery issue on her iPad. All right, so we're going to flip it around to the other side. So take your time, and I'm spinning myself around so I'm facing out to you. Take your time as you come on around, and then we're hopping that leg up onto our stack of pillows, get into that side lying position, adjust everything so it feels good. And now we're taking top hand, and top hand's going to do that nice reach. So you're reaching past your fingertips, get that little stretch and reach, and then exhale opens you up into twist. Inhale, you come in, get that stretch and reach. Exhale, open up into your twist. Inhale, come in, stretch and reach. Exhale, twist. Last one, inhale, come in, stretch and reach. And then exhale, open up into your twist, adjust your shoulders, adjust your hips, get everything organized nicely, and then soften into your breath. We're here for about 4 more cycles of breath, but just to give you an idea of where we're heading next, we'll come up and we'll be sitting in our deer seat or our zigzag seat. So that's where one leg is bent in front of the body and one leg is bent out to the side. And then we do that little rotation and we twist. But while we're in our deer seat, we will also use our yoga strap to do a cow face arm position. So for some of our bodies, and I'm thinking mainly of Anne's hips right now, it might feel a little bit better to have a pillow underneath your butt or your blanket underneath your butt to give your hips a little bit of elevation so that that internal rotation feels supported and good. So you'll position yourself in a way that makes good sense. When you're ready, inhale, come back in and do that last little reach past that hand so you get that little reach and stretch. And then use your arms, use your body, come up slowly and mindfully. Take your time as you come up. When we go into our deer seat, we want pillows off to one side so that we can go into that twist and fold position. And I'm going fast just to get you where we're heading. You take your time as you set yourself up, and then you want your yoga strap. And when we do the yoga strap, we do the one arm up, the one arm down, and we creep our hands together and we fold. So just have your handy strap tool nearby, get into your comfortable seat. And again, this is one of those places where yoga block or even blanket underneath the hips gives a little bit of that elevation, so it makes room for that outer leg. And then we rotate towards our stack of pillows, and then we fold. So take your time, get yourself organized in a way that makes good sense. And I oftentimes, when we're doing our practice, I fold just kind of a little bit, mainly so that I don't smush my microphone. But you can come like all the way over that stack of pillows. And honestly, for me, when I'm doing my own practice, I'm all the way over and it gets me down into my hip. I can feel a little stretch all the way down. So go where it feels really nice to you, and then hang out and just slow your breath down. We're here for 3 more cycles of breath. Take 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself out of that twist and fold. We're going to attempt to keep our legs in the deer seat, but if that doesn't feel good, you'll adjust it. But think about the leg that's in front of you. That's going to be your opposite arm, is going to be your top arm. So you're going to grab your strapping tool and you're going to drop it behind you. And I'm going to spin myself around just to make sure what I'm saying shows up. So you're going to do a little bit of a re-grab. So you're going to creep your hands together so you're in that cow face pose position. Now, some of us, our shoulders might have enough wiggle room that you can just clasp your hands, but I personally like the strapping tool. So get your position, see if that feels good. And then once you're there, you're going to do little nods of your head up and down. And then you're going to see if you can arrange it so you can just tip your torso forward just a little bit and then bring that nodding of the head back up and down back in. Now, if the nodding feels good, you're going to take light little circular motion with the head, but it's like really small. It doesn't need to be big and grand. It doesn't need to be crazy range of motion. It's more like you're just kind of flossing some of those tight little spaces around the neck, the head, shoulders. And then if you're rotating your head in one particular direction, reverse, go the other way. Lovely. 1 more rotation, and then just let your head come to stillness, as lean forward as you can comfortably go, where you're still in good control. And then come back up nice and slow. And then as you come up, release your grip. Take a second to let your shoulders have that softness. Let them ease out of that shape. And then we shake out the edge sketch. We just like kind of clear the screen a little bit. Now we're going to take all of that work to the other side. So you're going to take your time, swing your legs around, give them a little bop and a wiggle. I'm flipping my pillows over to the other side. You're going to set yourself up in a way that makes good sense. And then once you got your way there, again, elevate the hips if this feels good on this side. Get everything situated where you want it to be. And then once you feel pretty good, we rotate and then we fold over that stack of pillows. And then how far you fold, nice and super deep, or maybe a little bit up. Go for the shape on this side that feels nice. And then just let your breath come back in. We'll go for about 10 cycles of breath. Take one more breath here. All right, and then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself up. Unwind your twist, and then you're going to grab your strapping tool. So leg that's in front, we're going to go opposite hand holds onto the strap. You drop it down the back side, and then you re-grab, and then you creep your hands together to a comfortable, think a little bit of a positive stress, but not so much that everything just like you're gritting your teeth and you can't hold the shape and breathe. So get where your arms feel comfortable enough and you feel that slight sense of positive stress. And then once you've got your way there, take a second to add a little touch of the nodding of the head up and down. And now you're going to see if you can tip your heart forward just a little bit. So you come slightly leaned forward and then come back to that nodding of the head up and down. And then if the nodding feels good, take it into a circular motion. And then if that circular motion feels good, take it in reverse, go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you feel ready, let that head movement come to stillness, and then you're going to tip forward just to where you feel strong and confident to go that you can come back up and away from. So we lean forward, we get that little positive stress probably into that front leg outer hip, and then come up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time, and you may have actually felt it in that low shoulder as well. All right, take a second to slowly release your arms, give it all that shoop and a wiggle, move everything around that wants to move. And then we're going to start working our way towards a grounded position. But before we go all the way down, just swing your legs out, give your toes and your ankles a little bop and a wiggle, give your knees a little bit of wiggly movement, shoop everything out so it feels pretty good. When we get ourselves set up as we start to come down onto our back, my suggestion is going to be that you take one rolled blanket. That's going to come, and I'm going to go really fast so that you'll see everything set up before you come on down. So the blanket's going to come across that upper back. So it's going to kind of line up roughly with the armpits so that you can come into that back bend position. One pillow is going to come underneath the bend of the knees. And then your yoga strap is going to strap your legs so it holds them in a position. And then the other pillow is going to come stacked on top of the belly. So pillow underneath the knees, rolled up blanket behind you. And then you're going to take your strapping tool. This is one of those, like, if it feels nice. If you get there and you're like, no, it's not for me, leave it off. Because sometimes getting yourself all sorts of tied up is like, oh, isn't this yoga? Right? So for me, I have my my karate belt. So I just kind of wrap the ends around my legs. And what you want to shoot for is that when you come down into your laying down position, that your legs can relax and they feel like they could fall open into that external rotation, but they're held up into place. So they reduce as much effort as they possibly can. So I take my strap, I just kind of tuck the ends into itself so that they just kind of hold in a little bit of a firm hold. Got your blankie under your pillow underneath your knees, strap around your legs, see if that feels good. Here's where we're going to do our breath work before we come all the way down. So get all your props arranged. For our breath work, it's Chandra Bida Pranayama. So it's called moon piercing. And it works, we inhale through the left side and we exhale through the right side. So you can valve your nose with your hand. You can just use your imagination. So you're just going to go for what feels right to you. Find an upright spine, get your front end stacked all where you want them to be, and then use your favorite hand. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go right hand. You're going to close off the right nostril, inhale through the left side, close off the left nostril, exhale through the right side. And then that's the process. You inhale through the left side and you exhale through the right. And then if your nose is constricted, if you feel like you've got a clogged nostrils, anything like that. You can just use your imagination, and then you imagine that you're breathing solely in through the left side and exhaling solely through the right side. So you don't have to fiddle with the hands if that doesn't feel good. You're always going to pick the stuff that feels just right. And then sometimes it just takes a minute to let that slower, deeper breath come in. So give yourself just a little bit of grace, a little bit of time to find that slower, deeper, intentional in breath through the left side. And then exhale through the right. This particular breath practice or pranayama is meant to be calming and cooling and soothing. But if you've got like a big day ahead and you need to kind of get revved up, you would reverse it. You would inhale through the right side and exhale through the left. But since we're going to head towards Shavasana, hopefully it feels pretty good to get a slightly calmer, slower, deeper breath coming in. Go for about 3 more cycles of breath if you can. And then once you've completed your cycles of breath, you're going to slowly bring yourself down. So you're going to bring it so that the blanket roll comes underneath that upper back. So it's lined up roughly with the armpits. You've got your bend of your knee supported. You make little adjustments and wiggles as you go. So that feels pretty good. And then the last thing is just to take that pillow and bring it right across your abdomen. So you want just that slight sense of weight of the pillow across your abdomen. And then arms are going to open out nice and wide if that feels available. So you're going to just get settled in, make all the little micro adjustments so it feels pretty good. And then give everything a moment to work out all the little wiggles. You always have the option to stay in your resting position just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, you'll start to wiggle your fingers and twinkle your toes. And then I like to look for that slower, deeper breath to return to my body. So once you feel that slower, deeper breath, move some other parts. Move your wrists, move your ankles, maybe add a little gentle head turn. Turn your head just a touch side to side. You're in that falling back position, so it might feel good to just move it just a touch, not all the way. And then once you feel just a little bit more alert, maybe you take your arms and stretch them up above your head and just take a nice big yawning stretch through the top half of the body. From your waist to your fingertips, take a nice big breath. And then your exhale is going to bring you into a little bit of softness, and you're going to come up in a nice organized way. So you're going to grab your thighs, you're going to push into your elbows, use your core muscles, come up nice and slow. Move that pillow off of your abdomen. Take a second to just kind of come up to a nice little seat, and then you're going to slowly and mindfully release your legs if you strapped them up. And then once you've got your legs free from that strapping tool, then it's nice to just kind of feel that, like, whoo, you like let it go, and you just do little wiggle wobbles of the legs. So just feel that nice little blood flow come back in. And then once you feel like you've kind of wakened everything up just enough, we're going to come around into our little nest. So get your pillows adjusted just so that you can come into Sukhasana or butterfly seat, whatever feels good. So you just feel like you can come back to a little bit more alertness, nice upright spine. One hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Take a second to just let your eyes close down. Let your shoulders soften down. Let your jaw soften just a little bit. Notice your breath coming in and out through your nose. Take a nice big breath of love and gratitude towards yourself, for your mind, for your body, for inviting a little bit of softness in. And then take one last big liquid, soft, filling up breath that you can fill up with love and gratitude, that you can fill up with and take with you into the rest of your day. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. You guys are amazing.